Hello everyone, welcome to this video. This is Ashee from Crafting with Ashee, and thank you for joining me today. I have this gorgeous Christmas card to share with you. I am so happy with how it turned out. I absolutely adore these little mice, singing their hearts out here. Excuse me, isn't it just cute? So let me show you how I made this, because I'm definitely sending a few of these out this Christmas, so I need more than one. So let's start. Okay, first things first, our backing section. Now I'm going to have a piece here of shimmery white cardstock, and you can see here there's a little shimmer to it. And what I've done to save us some time, I've used the basic border dies, and I've used this nice curved one here, and I've cut out a piece of masking paper, as you can see, with a lovely curve, and this is going to make our snowbank. So you can just put this wherever you want your snowbank to be. I think, let's try and get it so it goes right across the piece of paper. Maybe something like that. And now we're just going to ink here, and then we'll be left with a perfectly white snowbank, as you can see here, for our snow. So we're going to use balmy blue ink, and I'm just going to open that up, and I'm going to use my blending brushes, and I'm just going to get a little bit of ink on my brush. I'm going to start off my page and just come in and just lay the ink down, and less is more. You want to build up the layers of ink. It's going to be much easier to control that way if you just build up the layers of colour. So it's quite easy to get, well, if you're me anyway, it's quite easy to get impatient and go too far too quickly, so I have to stop myself most of the time from doing that, because I just want to go fast. I don't have any patience when it comes to things like this. It's funny because I've got tons of patience. I can sit there for ages fiddling with the computer and fiddling with my website, and as if you look at my website, I'd love you to have a look at my blog, my website. I'm actually very proud of it, even if you might not think so, because I built that all on my own. I designed it, I created it, I did everything all on my own. I didn't have any outside tech help or anything. I've done it all on my own, so I'm very proud of that I could do that on my own without any outside assistance. So I'd love you to go and have a look at that. You can find the link in the description box below. You'll also find there the blog post that goes with this card, and the supplier list and all the measurements, etc. So I would love you to check that out. So let's see. I think that's going to be good enough. Maybe just a little bit more. I actually think that's going to be fine. You can see here we've got the one before, the one now. I think that's going to be pretty much the same. So put away our blending brush and close up our ink pad before we stick something in it by mistake. Okay, now we can just peel off this masking paper, and look at that, we've got our beautiful inked background, and then we can just put this back on our sheet. Not easy to see when you've got white on white, clear on white, but if you just put it back on the sheet as best as you can, and there it is, ready for another time. So you can reuse and reuse and reuse that mask, so don't lose it. So that's our backing piece done, so we're going to set that aside to dry. And now we're going to move on to our focal images. So I'm going to move away my whatever you call this, my craft paper, my grid paper, that's the word, so that I have my nice beautiful craft mat underneath, and that's because we're going to be doing some watercolouring, and I don't want to get that covered in water. Now I'm going to show you the stamp set we're using. It's this one called Caroling Mice, and it's actually a hostess set. So if you host a party or if you have a qualifying order over £150, you can choose this as one of your stamp sets to get with your hostess pounds. And it's a really cute set. I love these little mice here that you've used singing the heart out, and then you've got here the lamppost and the little other ornaments, the trees and the music notes and the stars and whatever. It's just so cute. It really is cute. I love it. So that's the stamp set. I have saved some time again and done all the stamping already, so let me just look for it. Here it is. So here are our mice, and here are our trees and our lamppost. Now this is also stamped on shimmery white cardstock, and I'm just going to bring you in slightly so you can see better. This is also stamped on shimmery white cardstock, and I stamped this with Versamark and then heat embossed it with black embossing powder. And if you want to look at, you can see here maybe the sheen from the black embossing. The reason I did this is the embossing will help to contain the water and make it easier to stay within the lines. And of course you do it on shimmery white cardstock, but shimmery white cardstock takes water much better than our basic white cardstock. You need to use a piece of paper that will take water and stand up to the water, so either shimmery white or hot pressed watercolour paper, you need to use that. So a fluid 100 watercolour paper or a hot pressed type of paper you need to use. And as I said, I heat embossed this. Now if you want to know how to do heat embossing, if you look back at my Focus Friday videos, you'll see that through the month of October we actually focused on heat embossing, and I showed you there how to easily heat emboss a sentiment. So go and check those videos out. You'll find a link in the description box as well to that. So I'm going to colour this in using my watercolour ink pads and my water painter. So I'm going to get my water painter out. I keep everything here in my lovely little Harry Potter pencil case. So I'm going to get my spritzer out, as well as, let's see what this is. You've got 3 different types of water painters. So you've got this very large brush, which I don't want today. And then you have a smaller brush and a tinsel brush as well. So I'm going to take that and I'm going to look for, there's my spritzer. I'm not sure where the lid has gone, why it's come off, but not the end of the world. There's the lid. And I'm not going to use my watercolour pencils, even though they're in there as well. I'm just going to use the water painter, and I'm going to actually use my ink pads to colour in. And I'll show you all the ink pads I've got here. These are the colours I'm using: Pacific Point, Poppy Parade, Old Olive, Mango Melody, Basic Grey and Smoky Slate. So we're going to do things a little bit differently, but we'll start off actually with our trees. So set that aside, bring in our trees here, and I'm going to show you with one what I'm going to do, and then I'll put you on fast forward with some lovely music, and I'll see you at the end. So I'm going to take my water painter, and all I've done here is got some ink into the lid, and to do that all I did was press down on the top here, and then that will transfer some ink into the lid. And then I just pick this up using my water painter, as you can see here, and then I'm just going to start to paint. And I tend to be quite careful. I'm not a sloppy type painter, or I try not to be. And you're just going to pull the ink colour down. If you feel you've got too much water there, you can blot some off using a wet cloth, a dry cloth I should rather say. If you think it's getting oversaturated and you don't know what to do, you can blot off what you can and then just dry it up using your heat tool, or leave it to dry naturally and then come back to it. Don't try and keep on working at it. You will just most probably make the situation a bit worse. And watercolouring, though, generally tends to be a very forgiving medium to mistakes and errors, so just, if it's still wet, blot it off with some a dry towel, and then dry up the rest, and then start again. and you can see how easy it is there just to paint. And if you want more ink in the pad, as I said, just give it a really good press down. So you need to give it some welly into that, and you can see there, got more ink in the pad, a deeper ink, and then you can bring in this deeper colour at the top and just let the water do its magic. It'll automatically move and bring in the magic. So just like that. So I'm going to leave that one to set to dry and move on to the next one. And as I said, I'm going to put you on fast forward and I'll see you at the end. Okay, so I've coloured in all my images. I did mean to record it for you and put it on fast forward for you to see, but my camera broke down, my memory card broke, and it just didn't record any of the footage at all, and I've just had to buy a new one. This is actually a day or two later than when I filmed the first bit, but I did obviously colour everything in, and then I fussy cut out all of the little elements that I coloured in, as you can see. So we're ready to assemble our card. So let's get started. We have here our card base, so this is specific points. It's a standard A6 card base. That's an A4 sheet cut in half and then folded in half. And then I've got a piece here of basic white cardstock that measures 14.35 centimeters by 10. This is my standard matte size first matte in, and we're going to put this on the inside as an insert, just like that. And then we're going to take our piece here that we inked up and put this on the outside. Get it the right way round, obviously. It's always useful. Okay. And then I'm going to sort of decide where I want everything to go. Let's bring in a little lamppost here somewhere, and you can see I coloured in slightly different to my previous one. So let's first do a little bit of stamping. I'm going to use this piece here that looks like snowmans. I'm just going to put it on a little block, and I'm going to just bring in some Memento ink. And then I'm just going to, no rhyme or reason where I'm doing this, just a few different areas. Like that will be perfectly fine. And I'm just going to clean this quickly up, and then I'm going to take my music notes, which are here, and I'm going to do a few here as well. Like that. So we've got our music notes. Okay, and then we're going to arrange our, I think we'll put this here. Firstly, our little scene. So I'm going to use some Tombow on the back, if it'll work for me. Yep, wants to work today. I think I'm going to put that there this time, just like that. Okay, and then I think I have a tree here, so let's put that in place. There's one tree. Let's give it a good press down. It had water on it, so might not always want to take so easily. And then let's arrange where we want these to go. So somewhere back here, and maybe there. Okay, So now I know where to put them. I can put some Tombow on the back. I put a bit too much on there, so let's get some onto the other one instead. And I haven't put these up on dimensionals because I'm going to put my main image on dimensionals and I want it to pop, so oops. So like that. And here I've got my main image, and I just need to take the backings off all these dimensionals, and then we'll see. So I'm really glad that my camera, when it wouldn't record the footage, I was scared maybe the camera had gone on the blink, which I don't really want. But unlike a lot of people, I don't use my phone to record. I use a proper old-fashioned proper camcorder. It is getting old. I mean, I must say it's about 6 or 7 years old, so yeah, it is, but it works perfectly fine. But yeah, I did get a scare that maybe that was on the blink, and I really didn't want that to be on the blink. But luckily it was just the memory card. Much cheaper thing to solve. Okay, so let's get rid of those backings, all those dimensionals, and show you. That's one card there. That's the second card there. As you can see, I've done them slightly different colourways, but equally as cute, I think. So thank you for watching. I'm sorry about the footage I lost. If you have any questions, then just let me know. If you did enjoy the video, I'd be grateful if you could give it a thumbs up so YouTube know, and please don't forget to subscribe to future videos. All the information about the project is in the description box below, and the links to my social media links and my website and everything is there too. So thank you again, and until next time, enjoy being creative. Bye!